The massive starship Starseeker drifted silently through the depths of space, its metal hull gleaming under the light of distant stars. Inside the enormous vessel, life continued as it had for the past 3 months since leaving Earth's space station, Omega. The crew, a mix of humans and their new alien allies, worked together, learning about each other day by day. Lily Adams sat at her communication station on the bridge, her brown hair tied back in a neat ponytail as she monitored incoming transmissions. Her job as Chief Communications Officer meant she was often the first to speak with other species they encountered. The 28-year-old woman had a gift for languages and cultural understanding, which made her invaluable to this mission of peace and exploration. Captain Sharon Jones approached her station with a datapad in hand, her dark skin contrasting with the white of her command uniform. She was in her 40s with short, cropped hair and eyes that missed nothing. "Lily, I need you to help our newest crew members adjust to human customs," Sharon said, placing the datapad on the console. The 4 Novaean delegates seemed to be struggling with some aspects of human interaction. Lily looked at the information on the screen, noting the profiles of their purple-skinned allies. The Novans were a highly intelligent species from the Andromeda Galaxy. Their civilization was millions of years older than Earth's, yet first contact had only happened 5 years ago when their scout ship detected human radio signals. "Of course, Captain." Lily nodded, taking the datapad. "I was planning to invite Zalara to dinner anyway. She seems the most curious about humans." Sharon smiled. "Good thinking. The Admiral wants this alliance to work. The Novaeans have technology we need, and they seem interested in our creativity. Something about humans having unique problem-solving abilities." After her shift ended, Lily returned to her private quarters, one of the small privileges of being a senior officer. The room was compact but comfortable, with a bed desk and small sitting area. She had decorated it with photos from Earth and souvenirs from various planets she had visited during her 7 years in the Earth Space Force. As she changed from her uniform into casual clothes, a soft chiming sound indicated someone at her door. "Come in," she called. The door slid open with a quiet hiss, revealing Zalara, the tallest of the 4 Novaeans aboard the Starseeker. The alien woman had to duck slightly to enter the human-sized room. Her purple skin shimmered with subtle patterns of light, a form of emotional expression unique to her species. She stood nearly 7 feet tall with a slender build and 4 arms extending from her torso. Her face was humanoid with large almond-shaped eyes that glowed amber in the cabin's light. "I hope I am not disturbing your rest period," Zalara said, her voice musical and slightly hesitant. "Not at all." Lily smiled, gesturing to a chair. "I was hoping to talk with you. Actually, please sit down." Zalara carefully lowered herself onto the small chair, her 4 hands resting on her knees. Her skin pulsed with light patterns that Lily recognized as indicating nervousness. "I have been studying human biology." Zalara began, her voice dropping to almost a whisper. "The medical officer provided educational materials to help us understand your physiology in case of emergencies." "That's good." Lily nodded, wondering where this conversation was heading. "Understanding each other's biology is important for our species to work together." Zalara shifted slightly, her upper hands clasping together. "I discovered something fascinating about human males," she continued, her eyes widening. "They have two separate organs. For reproduction and waste elimination, our men only have 1 combined organ." Lily tried not to laugh as understanding dawned on her. The alien woman was clearly both embarrassed and fascinated by this discovery. "Yes, that's correct," Lily replied calmly. "Human male and female anatomy differs quite a bit from Novan physiology. It excites me." Zalara admitted, her purple skin darkening with what Lily recognized as a blush. "Not just the physical differences, but everything about humans. The way you think, how passionate you are, your creativity. It is all so different from my people." Lily nodded, understanding dawning on her. Interspecies attraction wasn't uncommon since first contact. The cultural exchange program that brought Zalara aboard was designed specifically to build understanding between their species. "Have you spoken with Alex from engineering?" Lily asked gently. I noticed how your skin glows brighter when he's nearby. Zalara's skin pulsed with light patterns that indicated surprise. An embarrassment? Is it that obvious? She asked, her four hands now fidgeting nervously. Do you think he finds me repulsive? My extra arms, my skin color? Lily smiled reassuringly. Quite the opposite. I think he's fascinated by you too. I've caught him, watching you during crew meetings. Hope flashed across Zalara's features. Truly do humans find our differences attractive as well? Many do. Lily confirmed. Difference can be beautiful, intriguing, just like you find our differences exciting. Zalara stood suddenly, her full height making her duck under the cabin ceiling. Her amber eyes glowed brighter with enthusiasm. I must learn more about human courtship rituals, she declared. Will you help me understand how to approach Alex appropriately? Lily laughed. Of course. But maybe we should start with human conversation basics rather than jumping straight to anatomical differences. Over the next few days, Lily helped Zalara understand human customs, expressions, and social cues. She explained Earth, jokes taught her about sarcasm, and helped her practice casual conversation. The alien woman was a quick learner, absorbing information with remarkable speed. For her part, Zalara shared Novan customs with Lily, teaching her the complex light pattern, language that supplemented their spoken words. She explained how her people valued logic and efficiency above all else, which sometimes made humans seem chaotic and unpredictable to them as they worked together on the ship's environmental systems. Lily noticed how Zalara would position herself where she could observe Alex. The human engineer, with his sandy blonde hair and easygoing smile, seemed equally interested, often asking questions about Zalara's homeworld. When they crossed paths, Captain Sharon noticed the blossoming friendship between the human and alien crew members and took Lily aside after a staff meeting. I see you're making progress with our Novaean guests, she said, approval in her voice, especially Zalara. Lily nodded. She's incredibly intelligent, Captain, and genuinely interested in humans, not just studying us but understanding us. Good, Sharon replied. The Admiral will be pleased to hear it. There's talk of expanding the alliance, making it more permanent, and having a Novaean interested in human culture on a personal level could help smooth diplomatic relations. Neither of them realized then just how important Zalara's fascination with humans would become, or how it would eventually help save both their worlds from conflict. A simple, curious question about anatomy was just the beginning of a journey that would reshape the relationship between two vastly different species from opposite ends of the galaxy. Alex Weber stood in the engineering bay, his hands deep inside an open control panel as he recalibrated the ship's oxygen recyclers. The 30-year-old engineer had been with the Starseeker since its maiden voyage 3 years ago. His expertise with environmental systems made him invaluable, especially on long deep space missions. He sensed someone watching him and glanced over his shoulder to find Zalara hovering nearby. Her tall purple form always stood out among the human crew members. He noticed how her skin seemed to shimmer with more intense patterns whenever their eyes met. Need something? He asked, wiping his hands on a cloth. Captain Sharon assigned me to assist with environmental systems maintenance, Zalara replied her, four hands clasped together in what Alex had learned was a gesture of respect. I have studied the manual but would benefit from practical instruction. Alex nodded, trying not to stare at the fascinating way her skin glowed. Sure, I could use the help. These recyclers need recalibrating every 3 months in deep space. The cosmic radiation messes with the sensors. He showed her the control panel, explaining how the system worked. Zalara listened intently, occasionally asking questions that surprised him with their insight. Her four hands proved incredibly useful, able to adjust multiple controls simultaneously. You know a lot about environmental systems, Alex commented as they worked. I thought you were a cultural liaison. On my world, we do not specialize as narrowly as humans, Zalara explained. All Novians receive extensive education in multiple disciplines. I have training in 16 different fields, including atmospheric regulation, quantum mechanics, and xenobiology. Alex whistled, impressed. 16 fields, I'm lucky I mastered one. But you understand it deeply. Zalara observed her amber eyes studying him. You see connections. I miss You have intuition about the machinery. My people would call it inefficient, but I find it fascinating." As they worked together in the cramped maintenance tunnel, Alex found himself increasingly aware of Zalara's presence. The subtle sweet scent that reminded him of lavender. The graceful way she moved despite her height. The soft glow of her skin in the dim light. He had never thought he would be attracted to someone from another species, yet he couldn't deny his growing interest. Their conversation flowed easily as the hours passed. Alex told her about growing up in Iowa, about his parents' farm and his dreams of traveling to other worlds. Zalara shared stories of her homeworld Novi with its crystal cities and binary suns. "Why did you choose to join the Alliance crew?" Alex asked as they finished the calibration. "I wanted to understand humans," she replied honestly, her 4 hands working in perfect coordination as she closed the access panel. "My people feared yours when we first met. Your unpredictability, your emotions, we thought these were weaknesses." Alex nodded, handing her a tool. "And now I see they are your greatest strengths," she said, her skin glowing softly. "Humans feel deeply, love fiercely, create constantly. You imagine possibilities we never would you dream. And Novaeans don't dream," Alex asked, surprised. "Not like you do," Zalara explained. "Our minds seek efficiency patterns, logic, but being around humans has changed me. I've started having actual dreams when I sleep, vivid emotional experiences. My family thinks I've been contaminated by human chaos." Alex laughed. "Contaminated? That sounds serious." "It is to them," Zalara said, her skin darkening. "Some believe we should limit contact with humans, that your species will disrupt our orderly society." "And what do you believe?" Alex asked, his voice softening. Zalara paused, all 4 arms becoming still as she turned to face him. Her amber eyes met his brown ones. "I believe the universe brought our species together because we need each other. You teach us passion, creativity, and how to embrace chaos. We teach you patience, harmony, and the beauty of order. Together, we are better than either species alone." Something shifted between them in that moment. Alex reached out hesitantly, then gently touched her shimmering purple arm. The contact sent a strange tingling sensation through his fingers. Her skin was warmer than he expected and soft like velvet. Their moment of connection was interrupted by the ship's intercom. "All senior staff report to the bridge immediately. Repeat, all senior staff to the bridge." Alex and Zalara exchanged concerned glances before hurrying from engineering. Up on the bridge, they found Captain Sharon standing before the main view screen. Her expression was grim as she addressed the assembled officers. "We just received a priority transmission from Earth Command," she announced. "A human research outpost in the Proxima system was attacked 12 hours ago. Early reports suggest Novaean involvement." A shocked murmur ran through the crew. Alex glanced at Zalara, seeing her skin had paled to a lighter shade of purple. Her light patterns had become erratic, indicating distress. "That is impossible," she said, her voice tight. "My government signed the peace treaty. We have no reason to attack humans." Captain Sharon held up a hand. "I understand your concern, Ambassador. The evidence is preliminary. Earth Command has ordered us to proceed to the nearest space station. All non-human crew will be temporarily detained for questioning." Zalara stepped forward, her tall form commanding attention. "Captain, I formally request permission to contact my government. This attack contradicts everything we have worked for. Request granted." Sharon nodded. "Use a secure channel. Lieutenant Adams will assist you." As the meeting dispersed, Alex caught up with Zalara in the corridor. "I know your people wouldn't do this," he said quietly. "Something doesn't add up." Zalara's amber eyes met his gratitude, evident in her gaze. "Thank you for believing me, Alex. Not everyone will be so trusting." In the communications room, Lily helped Zalara establish a secure channel to the Novaean High Council. The response came swiftly. The elegant face of Elder Calorax appeared on screen, his purple skin adorned with the formal light patterns of his office, daughter of Zendrix. He addressed Zalara in their native tongue. "We have heard of the attack, The High Council denies all involvement. We believe this may be the work of the Shadowed Ones. Zalara's skin pulsed with alarm. The outcast, clans we thought they were extinct. It appears some survived in the outer reaches. Elder Calorax replied, they oppose the alliance with humans. They see it as contamination of our pure ways. After the transmission ended, Zalara explained to Lily and Alex about the Shadowed Ones, a group of Novaean extremists who had been banished centuries ago for their violent beliefs. They believed in Novaean superiority and rejected any cooperation with other species. We must tell Captain Sharon, Lily said. This changes everything. Together they hurried to the captain's quarters explaining what they had learned. Sharon listened carefully, then nodded. This information helps, but Earth Command will want proof. The Starseeker has been ordered to space. Station Delta. We arrive in 3 days. As they left, Alex noticed Zalara growing increasingly distressed. Her skin had developed dark patches, a sign of extreme anxiety among her species. What is it? He asked, when they were alone in the corridor. If the Shadowed Ones are truly behind this attack, they will not stop with one outpost. She whispered. They seek to destroy the Alliance completely. Their next target will be much larger, perhaps even Earth itself. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. How can you be sure? Because I recognize their attack pattern. Zalara explained, her voice trembling slightly. It matches a forbidden combat technique from my world's ancient history, a technique the Shadowed Ones were known to use. My family has records that could prove this. Your family? Alex asked, confused. Zalara's amber eyes met his. What I have not told any human is that I am not simply a cultural liaison. I am Zalara Zendrix, daughter of the High Elder of Novae. My family leads the council that governs our world. Alex stared at her in shock. Your royalty. We do not use that term, but yes, in human terms I would be considered a princess. She admitted. I came on this mission in disguise to truly understand humans without the formality my position usually creates. I needed to know if the alliance was truly beneficial for both our peoples. And is it? Alex asked softly. Zalara touched his cheek with one of her hands. More than my people could ever imagine. The Starseeker approached Space Station Delta, its engines powering down as it prepared to dock. The massive station orbited a gas giant in the Tau Ceti system, serving as a major hub for Earth Space Force operations. Captain Sharon stood on the bridge watching the station grow larger on the view screen. Her expression remained neutral, but tension radiated from her posture. Lily approached the captain's chair, datapad in hand. The 4 Novaean crew members have been notified about the detention protocol. She reported, keeping her voice professional despite her concerns. Ambassador Zalara requests a private meeting with you before we dock. Sharon nodded. Tell her to meet me in my ready room in 10 minutes. When Zalara entered the captain's ready room, her skin was pulsing with subdued light patterns indicating her distress. Captain Sharon gestured for her to sit. I want you to know I don't believe your government was behind the attack. Sharon began. I've worked with Novans for 3 years now. I understand your people's dedication to logic and order. An unprovoked attack makes no sense. Thank you, Captain. Zalara replied, her voice steady, despite her obvious anxiety. But I fear Earth Command may not share your perspective. Politics. Sharon sighed. They need someone to blame. The alliance is still new, fragile trust is in short supply. Which is precisely what the Shadowed Ones are counting on. Zalara said, leaning forward. Captain, I have not been completely honest about my identity. She explained her true status as daughter of the High Elder. Sharon listened, her expression changing from surprise to calculation. So you're telling me we have the Novaean equivalent of a princess aboard? She said finally. And you believe your family has evidence that could prove these Shadowed Ones are behind the attack? Yes, Zalara confirmed. Ancient combat records specifically, their attack pattern is distinctive. My family maintains the historical archives that document their methods. Sharon stood pacing the small room. Earth Command won't let you leave the station once we dock. They'll consider you a valuable political asset, especially once they learn your true identity. Then I must not be aboard when we dock. Zalara said simply. The captain stopped pacing, fixing the alien woman with a sharp look. You're suggesting. A small shuttle, Zalara continued. With minimal crew, I could reach the quantum gate near the Epsilon sector. It would allow me to contact my family and retrieve the evidence we need. That's a restricted military zone, Sharon pointed out. Any unauthorized craft would be intercepted. Not if it had command codes, Zalara countered. Not if it was on a sanctioned mission. Sharon was silent for a long moment, weighing the consequences. If I help you and you're wrong about this evidence, I lose my command, possibly face court-martial. And if I am right, we prevent an interspecies war. Zalara replied, her amber eyes glowing intensely. Captain, I would not ask this if I were not certain. 3 hours later, under the guise of a routine maintenance check, Lily, Alex, and Zalara boarded Shuttle 4 in the Starseeker's auxiliary bay. Captain Sharon had provided them with command codes that would get them past Earth Force security, but their window was narrow. We have 48 hours before the Starseeker reaches Delta, Lily said, as she programmed the flight coordinates. By then, Captain Sharon will have to report our absence. Alex ran final systems checks on the small vessel. The shuttle is fueled and ready. Environmental systems optimal stealth mode engaged. Zalara sat at the navigation console, her 4 hands moving quickly across multiple control panels. I have plotted the most efficient course to the quantum gate. Once there, we can jump directly to the Novaean system. As the shuttle detached from the Starseeker, its stealth technology activated, rendering it nearly invisible to conventional sensors. They slipped away as the larger ship continued its journey to Space Station Delta. The journey to the quantum gate would take 18 hours through disputed territory. The shuttle was designed for short-range missions, not interstellar travel. The 3 of them would need to take shifts at the controls. You should rest, Lily told Zalara, noticing the signs of fatigue in her alien friend. Your skin is losing its luster. I will meditate. Zalara agreed. Wake me in 6 hours. While Zalara rested in the small crew quarters, Lily and Alex remained on the bridge monitoring their course. Do you think her family will help us? Lily asked quietly. She mentioned they disapprove of her interest in humans. Alex adjusted their trajectory, avoiding a field of debris. She seems confident. They may not like us, but they apparently hate these shadowed ones even more. It's strange, Lily mused. A few months ago, I knew almost nothing about Novaeans. Now we're risking our careers, maybe our lives, to help them. Not them, Alex corrected. Her, Lily, gave him a knowing look. You care about her. Alex was silent for a moment, his eyes fixed on the control panel. Is it that obvious? To everyone except maybe Zalara. Lily smiled. Though I think she feels the same way. Novaean emotional expressions are different from ours, but her skin practically lights up the room when you're around. It's complicated. Alex sighed. Different species, different cultures. Her family status, I mean, she's practically royalty. When has love ever been simple? Lily replied. Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden alarm from the sensor array. 2 vessels approaching. Alex reported, his voice tense. Configuration unknown. Definitely not. Earth Force. Lily activated the communication system. Unidentified. Vessels, this is Earth Force Shuttle 4 on sanctioned mission. Please identify. There was no response, only the steady approach of the unknown ships. Scan them. Alex suggested. Maybe we can figure out who they're. Lily ran the scan, her face paling. At the results, energy signatures match Novaean technology, but the configuration is all wrong. More weaponry, less shielding. The shadowed ones. Alex realized they must be patrolling this sector. Zalara emerged from the crew quarters, awakened by the alarm. Her amber eyes widened at the sensor readings. We must evade them. Their weapons are primitive by modern Novaean standards, but still deadly to our small craft. Alex pushed the shuttle's engines to maximum. Hang on, this will be rough. The shuttle accelerated rapidly, plunging toward a nearby asteroid field. The 2 enemy vessels followed, matching their course. They're gaining on us, Lily reported. Weapons charging. The asteroids will provide cover. Alex set his hands steady on the controls, but it will be close. The shuttle weaved between massive spinning rocks, some larger than the Starseeker itself. The pursuing ships fired energy weapons, missing the shuttle, but vaporizing asteroids in their path. Zalara moved to the weapons. Console, I can create a diversion. She fired the shuttle's defensive lasers not at their pursuers, but at a cluster of unstable asteroids ahead of them. The rocks exploded, creating a cascade of debris that spread outward in a chaotic pattern. Brilliant, Alex exclaimed as he steered through a narrow gap in the debris field. Controlled chaos. One of the pursuing ships failed to navigate the sudden obstacle field. Its hull breached as a spinning asteroid fragment sliced through it. The second ship pulled back, breaking off pursuit. We did it. Lily breathed, her hands shaking slightly from adrenaline. For now, Zalara cautioned, but they will report our presence. The quantum gate will be guarded. Alex set a new course. Then we need another way to reach your home world. Zalara was silent for a moment, her skin patterns shifting in complex algorithms. Finally, she spoke. There is another way, an ancient gate. My people constructed it millennia ago before the modern network. It is not on any official charts. Where is it? Lily asked. The Denari Nebula. Zalara replied. 2 parsecs from our current position, it is dangerous, unstable, but it would deliver us directly to my family's ancestral lands, bypassing all official entry points. Alex and Lily exchanged looks. How unstable? Alex asked. The energy fluctuations are unpredictable. Zalara admitted. The gate was abandoned because approximately 1 in 4 transits resulted in ship damage. Some vessels never emerged at all. 1 in 4. Lily repeated. Those aren't great odds. We have no choice. Alex said firmly. The evidence Zalara's family has is our only hope of preventing war. Lily nodded, setting course for the Denari Nebula. As they approached the nebula, the shuttle's sensors began to malfunction. The swirling clouds of multicolored gas and cosmic dust interfered with their equipment. The temperature inside the cabin rose as the shuttle's cooling systems struggled against the nebula's radiation. The ancient gate should be at these coordinates, Zalara said, her voice strained, but I cannot detect it. Alex adjusted the sensors. Too much interference. Try the quantum resonance scanner. Zalara activated the specialized equipment designed to detect subtle distortions in space-time. For several tense moments, nothing happened. Then a faint signal appeared on her console. There, she pointed to a rippling distortion barely visible against the nebula's colorful backdrop. That is the gate. Alex maneuvered the shuttle closer to the distortion. Its shape became more defined, a circular tear in the fabric of space surrounded by crackling energy. How do we activate it? Lily asked. We must generate a specific energy signature. Zalara explained, her 4 hands working across multiple controls. I will reconfigure our shields to emit the correct frequency. As Zalara made the adjustments, the gate began to respond. The rippling distortion expanded, forming a swirling vortex of energy at its center. It is working. Zalara exclaimed, her skin glowing brightly. The gate recognizes the ancient codes. Hold on, Alex called as he guided the shuttle toward the vortex. This might be rough. Lily awoke to the sound of strange birdsong. Her head throbbed as she blinked against bright sunlight filtering through tall crystalline structures. She was lying on soft moss-like ground, the air around her sweet and heavy, with unfamiliar scents. With effort, she pushed herself up, looking around in confusion. She was in some sort of garden surrounded by towering structures that resembled trees, but were made of living crystal. Their translucent branches swayed gently, casting rainbow patterns. On the ground, the sky above was a deep indigo color with twin suns hanging low on the horizon. We made it, came Alex's voice from nearby. We're on Novi. Lily turned to see him sitting on an ornate bench carved from what appeared to be a single piece of amber. His face was bruised, but he was smiling. Despite everything, he looked almost giddy with excitement. "The shuttle?" Lily asked, trying to piece together her fragmented memories, damaged beyond repair. Alex replied, "The gate transit was rougher than expected, but the Novaeans found us quickly. Their technology is amazing. Lily, I watched them disassemble our shuttle in minutes." "Where is Zalara?" Lily asked, suddenly concerned. "With her family." Alex explained, "She went to retrieve the evidence we need from their archives." She said to wait here. Lily stood carefully testing her balance. The gravity felt slightly lighter than Earth, making her movements feel bouncy and uncertain. She joined Alex on the bench, taking in their surroundings more fully. The garden was part of an immense complex of crystal buildings that spiraled upward, seeming to defy gravity. Their architecture was unlike anything on Earth, organic, yet precisely mathematical, as if grown rather than built. "Her family must be important," Lily murmured. "This place is incredible." "She's basically a princess," Alex reminded her. "Though she hates when I call her, that says their society doesn't work that way. Her family has led the High Council for 9 generations because of their genetic aptitude for logic and governance, not divine right." "How long have I been unconscious?" Lily asked, noticing Alex seemed very familiar with their surroundings. "About 6 hours," he replied. "I woke up 4 hours ago. The Novan healers said you needed more time because your neural patterns were more disrupted by the gate. Something about having more active emotional centers in your brain." "Have you spoken with anyone else?" Lily asked. "Do they know why we're here?" Zalara explained everything to her father. Alex said, "He's not happy about humans showing up unannounced in their ancestral home, but he's even less happy about the Shadowed Ones attacking human outposts and potentially starting a war." Their conversation was interrupted by the approach of several tall, purple-skinned figures. Zalara led the procession, her familiar form a welcome sight. Despite the formality of the occasion, her skin still pulsed with excitement when she saw Alex, a detail Lily noted with interest beside. Zalara walked an even taller Novan male, his purple skin darker and adorned with intricate permanent light patterns that seemed to indicate his status. His forearms were draped with ceremonial garments, and his amber eyes regarded the humans with cautious curiosity. "My friends," Zalara greeted them. "This is my father, High Elder Zendrix of the 7th lineage." Lily and Alex stood bowing slightly as Zalara had taught them was proper. The High Elder inclined his head in acknowledgement. "Daughter of mine tells me you seek evidence of the Shadowed One's involvement in attacks on your people," he said, his voice deeper and more resonant than Zalara's. "I have reviewed our historical archives and found disturbing confirmations." He gestured to another Novaean who stepped forward carrying an ornate crystal tablet. The device activated, revealing holographic images of ancient Novaean combat techniques. "The attack pattern used against your outpost," the High Elder explained. "It bears the unmistakable signature of the Kavoth Protocol, a forbidden combat strategy developed by the Shadowed Ones before their exile. Only they would know these precise formations." Lily studied the holographic display, recognizing the attack pattern from Earth forces. Reports. "This is exactly what happened at the research outpost," she confirmed. "This would prove the official Novan government wasn't responsible. I will provide you with copies of these records," Zendrix said, "along with our formal denouncement of the Shadowed Ones. But there is a greater concern. The attack on your outpost was merely a test. The Shadowed Ones will strike again soon at a much larger target." "How do you know this?" Alex asked. "Because the Kavoth Protocol is always executed in 3 phases, Zalara explained. "First, a small attack to test defenses. Second, a strike against communications to isolate the target. And third, a massive assault against the primary objective." "The first phase is complete," her father continued. "Our intelligence suggests they are already preparing for the second phase, an attack on your primary communication relay in the Arcturus system." Lily gasped. "That relay connects Earth to all its colonies. If it goes down, Earth would be vulnerable," Alex finished. "Cut off from warning or assistance." "We must warn Earth Command immediately," Lily said urgently. "Our long-range communications are at your disposal." Zendrix offered. But will your leaders believe us evidence sent via transmission can be disputed? Our involvement might be seen as further proof of Novan duplicity. Hez right, Alex said grimly. Earth Command is already suspicious. After we took the shuttle without authorization, they might think we've been compromised. Zalara stepped forward. Then we must deliver this evidence in person together to both our governments. That would mean revealing your true identity, her father pointed out. It is time, Zalara replied firmly. Our worlds stand on the brink of war. Father, I cannot hide in the shadows any longer. Zendrix studied his daughter for a long moment, then nodded. The High Council vessel can take you to the neutral meeting ground at Proxima Centauri. Our ambassadors will join you there. I will arrange for Earth Command to send representatives as well. They won't come without assurances, Lily cautioned. They will if Captain Sharon requests it. Alex suggested. She has influence with Admiral Patel. Can we contact the Starseeker from here? Lily asked. Our quantum communicators can reach them even at Space Station Delta. Zendrix confirmed. Within hours arrangements had been made. The High Council vessel, a sleek crystalline ship twice the size of the Starseeker, was prepared for immediate departure. Lily and Alex marveled at its design so different from the utilitarian metal hulls of Earth vessels. The Novaean ship seemed alive somehow. Its systems integrated with biological components in ways human technology had never achieved before their departure. Zendrix requested a private audience with Alex. The human engineer followed a Novaean attendant through winding crystal corridors to an elevated chamber overlooking the vast city below. The High Elder stood alone, gazing out at the twin suns now setting on the horizon. You care for my daughter, Zendrix said without preamble. It was not a question. Alex straightened his shoulders. I do, sir. You understand that she is heir to the 7th lineage? The Elder continued. Her genetic pattern carries 9,000 years of carefully cultivated traits for leadership and wisdom. I understand she's important to your people, Alex replied carefully. Zendrix turned to face him, amber eyes studying the human with unsettling intensity. What you may not understand is how she has changed since meeting humans. Since meeting you specifically, Alex remained silent, waiting. Novians do not dream. Engineer Weber. Zendrix explained, we do not experience emotions as humans do. Our minds are ordered, logical, precise. It has been our way for millennia, Zalara told me. Alex nodded. What she may not have told you is that her neural patterns have altered significantly since her time among humans. Zendrix continued. Our healers detected it when she returned. The changes are unprecedented. She has developed new neural pathways. Emotional centers once dormant in our species have activated in her mind. Is she ill? Alex asked, alarmed. No, Zendrix replied. She is evolving, perhaps all Novians. Could if we allowed ourselves closer contact with humans. Your chaotic, emotional, unpredictable species might be precisely what we need to break free from our rigid patterns. I don't understand, Alex admitted. For 10,000 years our civilization has remained unchanged, the High Elder explained. Perfect, ordered, logical, and stagnant. We no longer create art, we no longer innovate, we merely exist. Our population declines each generation as fewer Novians choose to reproduce. Perfection, it seems, leads to extinction. He gestured toward the window where the last rays of the twin suns painted the crystal city in shades of gold and amber. But my daughter returns from 3 months among humans, and she dreams she creates. She feels she lives, with an intensity I had forgotten was possible. Zendrix continued, his voice softer now. The High Council fears this change. They see it as contamination. I see it as salvation. Alex struggled to process the implications. What are you saying exactly? I'm saying, Engineer Weber, that whatever exists between you and my daughter may be more important than either of you realize. Zendrix answered. It may represent the future of both our species. Before Alex could respond, an attendant appeared at the doorway. The vessel is ready for departure, High Elder. Zendrix nodded. We will continue this discussion another time, Engineer Weber. For now, focus on presenting the evidence to your leaders. The fate of both our worlds depends on it, as Alex rejoined. Lily and Zalara aboard the High Council vessel. He found himself unable to share what Zalara's father had told him. The implications were too vast, too overwhelming. Instead, he focused on their. The neutral meeting station orbiting Proxima Centauri hummed with tension. Representatives from Earth Force and the Novaean High Council gathered in the central chamber, their faces grim. Admiral Patel, a stern woman with silver-streaked black hair, stood with her staff on one side of the circular room, Captain Sharon among them. On the opposite side stood the Novaean delegation, their purple skin shimmering with formal light patterns. The two groups eyed each other with barely concealed suspicion. Lily, Alex, and Zalara entered, flanked by Novaean guards. The Admiral's eyebrows rose at the sight of her missing communications officer, Lieutenant Adams. She said, her voice cold. "I see reports of your desertion were accurate." "Not desertion, Admiral." "Captain," Sharon interjected, stepping forward, "a sanctioned covert mission to gather intelligence." Without proper authorization, the Admiral countered, during a diplomatic crisis. "With my full knowledge and approval," Sharon replied, meeting the Admiral's gaze steadily. "And the evidence they've returned with proves it was the right decision." Zalara moved to the center of the room, her bearing regal. "I am Zalara Zendrix, daughter of High Elder Zendrix, 7th lineage of Novae," she announced formally. "I have served aboard your vessel Starseeker as cultural liaison, but my true purpose was to evaluate the potential of the human-Novaean alliance." Murmurs ran through the Earth delegation as they realized the significance of her lineage. "We have discovered evidence that the attacks on human outposts were not conducted by the Novaean government," Zalara continued, "but by a radical faction known as the Shadowed Ones, an outcast group believed extinct until recently." She activated a holographic display showing the evidence they had gathered. The ancient combat patterns appeared in the center of the room, rotating slowly for all to see. "The attack formations are unmistakable," Zalara explained. "These are the Kavath protocols, forbidden combat, techniques known only to the Shadowed Ones. They were banished from Novan society millennia ago for their belief in violent expansion and species supremacy." Admiral Patel studied the display, her expression skeptical. "This could be fabricated." "It is not," came a new voice from the entrance. All heads turned to see High Elder Zendrix himself entering the chamber. His imposing presence commanded attention immediately. His forearms were raised in the formal gesture of truth, a sacred position. "In Novian culture that by their deepest laws prohibited falsehood, I speak under the covenant of Zakal," he declared. "What my daughter presents is truth from our most sacred archives. The Shadowed Ones seek to destroy the alliance between our peoples. They attacked your outpost to incite war." The Admiral seemed taken aback by the High Elder's unexpected appearance. "Even if what you say is true, why would these Shadowed Ones want war between us?" "Because they fear what we might become together." Lily stepped forward. "The Novians have technology beyond our imagination, Admiral, but they've reached a point of stagnation. Their society values order and logic above all else. While humans," Alex continued, "are chaotic, creative, emotional, we solve problems in ways they would never consider. Our species complement each other perfectly." "The Shadowed Ones believe in Novan superiority," Zalara explained. "They see humans as a contamination, a threat to our ordered existence. They would rather destroy you than allow our cultures to blend, and they plan to attack again." Alex added urgently, "Their next target is the Arcturus communications relay. If they succeed, Earth will be cut off from its colonies, vulnerable." Admiral Patel turned to her staff, conferring quietly. After several tense moments, she faced the Novaean delegation again. "Assuming this is true, how do we stop them?" she asked. "Together." High Elder Zendrix replied simply, "A joint fleet positioned at the Arcturus relay. My scientists have developed shielding effective against their weapons, but we need your tactical expertise. Their combat patterns are ancient but effective. Our ordered minds struggle to counter their chaotic approach." Admiral Captain Sharon spoke. This is exactly what the alliance was meant to be, our strengths combined. The meeting continued for hours as plans were made and strategies developed. A joint defensive fleet would be dispatched to the Arcturus relay immediately. While the admirals, and elders discussed logistics, Lily, Alex, and Zalara found themselves in a small observation room overlooking the vast starfield beyond the station. "Do you think they'll actually work together?" Alex asked, watching distant ships moving through space. "They have no choice," Lily replied. "Neither side can defeat the Shadowed Ones alone." Zalara stood close to Alex, her skin glowing softly in the dim light. "My father spoke with you privately," she said. "What did he tell you?" Alex hesitated, then decided, on honesty. "He told me you've changed since living among humans, that you've developed abilities no Novaean has shown before. Dreams," she whispered. "Emotions. I feel things so intensely now it frightens the council. They believe I've been contaminated." "But your father doesn't think so," Alex said. "No." Zalara smiled, her amber eyes meeting his. "He believes I might represent a new evolutionary path for our people, one where logic and emotion exist in balance." "And what do you believe?" Lily asked. Zalara was silent for a moment, her skin patterns shifting in complex patterns. "I believe I have found something my people lost centuries ago, the ability to truly live, not merely exist." 3 days later, the joint human-Novaean fleet took position around the Arcturus communications relay. Their ships formed a defensive pattern designed by Earth strategists using unpredictable positioning that would confuse the ordered minds of the Shadowed Ones. The Novaean vessels provided advanced shielding technology, protecting the human ships. The weight was tense. As predicted, the Shadowed Ones attacked with a fleet of ancient but powerful vessels. Their combat patterns followed the second phase of the Kavath Protocol, exactly as the Novaean archives had described. But the joint fleet was ready. What followed was a battle unlike any before. Novan precision combined with human unpredictability created a defense the Shadowed Ones could not penetrate. When they adjusted their attack to counter human chaos, they were met with Novan order. When they shifted to break through ordered patterns, they encountered human unpredictability. On the bridge of the Starseeker, Captain Sharon coordinated with Novan vessels. Lily managed communications between the diverse fleet. While Alex worked with Novaean engineers to maintain the enhanced shields, Zalara moved between stations, her unique understanding of both species making her invaluable as translator and advisor. The battle raged for hours, but gradually the tide turned. The Shadowed Ones' vessels, older and less advanced, began to fall to the combined might of the Alliance fleet. Their rigid adherence to ancient combat protocols proved to be their weakness, unable to adapt to the hybrid tactics of their opponents. When the last enemy ship retreated, the joint fleet erupted in celebration. Humans and Novaeans alike shared in the victory, a victory that could not have been achieved alone. In the aftermath, as the fleet returned to Proxima Centauri, Admiral Patel stood before the combined crews of human and Novaean vessels. "Today marks a new chapter in the history of both our species," she announced. "The Alliance has proven its worth not in theory, but in battle. Together we achieved what neither could, alone." High Elder Zendrix joined her, addressing the assembly. "For millennia my people have valued order and logic above all else. We believed emotions were a weakness to be controlled. But today, we witnessed the strength that comes from embracing. Both the future of Novans and humans lies not in separation, but in cooperation and learning from each other's differences." 3 months later, aboard the newly commissioned Alliance vessel, Harmony Lily Adams sat in the communications center, monitoring transmissions from across the galaxy. The ship was the first of its kind, designed and built jointly by humans and Novaeans. Its systems combined the best of both worlds, human intuitive interfaces with Novaean precision engineering. Captain Sharon entered, the center reviewing status reports. "Any word from our cultural ambassadors?" she asked. Lily smiled. "They arrived safely on Earth. Ambassador Zalara is scheduled to address the United Planetary Council tomorrow. Alex reports that she's nervous, but ready." Hard to believe it all started with her awkward question about human anatomy. Sharon chuckled. Sometimes the most important connections begin with curiosity, Lily replied, across the galaxy in a small apartment overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Zilara stood on the balcony watching her first Earth sunset. Her tall purple form drew curious glances from passers-by below, but such sightings were becoming more common as the alliance strengthened. Alex joined her, wrapping an arm around her slender waist. What do you think? It is beautiful, she whispered, her skin glowing with the oranges and reds reflected from the setting sun. So different from the twin suns of my world, yet equally magnificent. Nervous about tomorrow? He asked. Yes, she admitted, but also excited. The Council must understand why this alliance matters, why our differences make us stronger together. They'll listen, Alex assured her. Just be yourself. Tell them how you discovered the strength in human chaos, how we found wisdom in Novaean order. She turned to face him, her amber eyes meeting his. And should I tell them how it all began with my curious question about human anatomy? Alex laughed, pulling her closer. Maybe save that for the memoir.